Hey there, guys. It is Rachel Feldman. Hello. So, I'm extremely excited. I actually am sending out an email to my entire list about what is coming for the winter launch. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I just do this live? It's so much fun, so easy to show all the amazing programs. And so, for those of you who have been asking, and I've been getting text messages from you guys, personal messages, DMs saying, what are you guys launching? I want to actually show you. We're going actually to do, it's a blood sugar mastery program. There's a 30-day gut program. We're even doing an anti-inflammatory, and that's why I just want to share my screen with you. So just hold on. Okay. As you see right here, welcome to my Dropbox. If you guys have ever heard me talk about organization, if it weren't for my first virtual assistant, thank you, Anna. The first one that really taught me organization, she taught me how to master a Dropbox. So I don't think I would be able to do this and keep everything organized if it weren't for her. So this is just a special shout out. I want to show you first. I'm really, really pumped about this. We have been getting so many questions about an anti-inflammatory program for years. So our vision with this program is that this program is great for, and hasn't been edited yet. This program is really great for anybody. This could be a great lead-in to the AIP program. This can also be a great lead-in to the Candida program. I think this also is great for niches that even if you're focusing on weight loss, to really polarize down and to set yourself apart, you can even promote this as this inflammation is what's leading to your weight gain, your unexplained weight gain. And we know that to be true from inflammation. The same can apply to like the gut biz, a gut niche. The same can apply even for people with chronic skin issues. So when we envisioned creating this program, I thought this is the game changer for so many of us, because our ideal clients sometimes can't identify with that actual, like what it's going to take to get them to that place of transformation. And I think as coaches, we know what we're saying. We're like, it's like these steps, you have to take these steps, but our clients like, well, everyone talks about skin, everyone talks about weight, but when we talk about this word inflammation, our clients know this word. It's what I call like a hot, sexy word. It means that word to them tells a very distinct story and picture. And so when we are in the creation phase or the planning, we really don't just think of the content, but like, how can you even market this? How can you set yourself apart from so many other people? So you'll see this program, Superfoods, really dives into so many different aspects that you guys teach about, no matter if you're a coach, if you're even in network marketing, if you're a functional medicine coach. There are so many different kinds of coaches and chiropractors and people that we sell programs to. I really think it's going to fit in all of those different areas for you guys. Furthermore, we did this vegan and omnivore, and you will see, let me even just go into these covers to even just show you what it looks like. It is absolutely so stunning. I cannot even handle it. So you have a food journal. You actually have a handout on the roadblocks to recovery. The way that I look at handouts is, you can, of course, use them in your one-on-one business. So our programs, you could use them in your one-on-one business to create a great automated system for you. Hence that also when you really define your offers and like, I'm going to start my client at this 30-day, and then they graduate either to my gut membership, or they're going to graduate to my hormone, or I'm going to take them on this 60-day weight loss. That next step could be in your one-on-one, or that next step could, of course, be a more higher touch, higher intensive, or That next step could even be a lower cost group. Handouts are talking points. Handouts are, engagement pieces. They are ones that you can say to your client, like, hey, I'm so excited we started on the program. I really want to focus on this roadblocks to recovery. I want you to take the quiz this week, do your assessment, and then we're going to reassess. Many of you are in platforms. One of my favorites is Practice Better. You're in platforms where you can do this quiz assessment. Many of you are also in platforms like Kajabi and Kartra, Entreport, all-in-ones, where you can do an assessment as well, even on their completion of a module. So when I say module, think of it, even if you're doing your one-on-one coaching, in a way, week 1 and 2 is like module 1. And week 3 and 4 is like module 2. You could even break it up where week 1 is module 1, week 2 is module 2. So that in this new way that we are communicating how to actually coach, you're looking at your one-on-one business in the same kind of format of delivery that you would actually a group. And the reason I say that is that's exactly how I envisioned it's not only how I envisioned it, but it's how I mapped out my offers. I would say to people, we're going to start with the program, and then week 2, we're going to solo focus on a few obstacles and roadblocks that usually get in the way. So for me and my one-on-one with the different people that I worked with, I knew the program and the steps that each of those people with their very distinct different problems would go through. I also knew which handouts and which focal points that I really wanted to dive into the guide. So if I was using this in my one-on-one, week 1 would be always, let's get all our stuff. Let's get our probiotics. Let's get our castor oil packs. Let's get our Epsom salts. Let's read our program. And we would make sure in that first week, in our first session, that we were going over any of the obstacles that often come into play, like the reasons, kind of circle back to their original health history of what actually stops you from getting better, and really making sure that I constantly go back to some of the old either habits emotionally or physically or spiritually, or old trauma, old stories where my client constantly would get hung up. So that second week would be solo focusing on the aspects in that guide, and also giving them homework. So there was always a touch with me. And some people structure their months where, there's one 60-minute session, 1:30. I structured mine where I did 2 60-minute and 2 15-minute check-ins, or I would make sure that I was sending an email Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And those emails were not even emails that I had somebody write. Those emails were emails that I could pull from the content. Hey, we're focusing on fermented foods. Here, I'm going to just drop this into the email. Let me know when you get this. And it just really, it created such a great connection with me and my client. But secondly, it also took out this overwhelming burden of feeling like I needed to have every email written and everything perfect. And, because the truth is, I don't think there was one client that was ever the same. I mean, I think that's the beauty of us as coaches. We have processes and systems, but it is in that one-on-one, in that personalization. It's a little different maybe if you're doing a group or it's a membership, and you have that structure within that group. But that's also the key benefit of upselling. When you are having a group and maybe you're launching this or a membership in, January, or oh my God, the anti-inflammatory reset would be amazing to kick off that, because I really envision myself moving people into this 60-day program starting in March, before everyone kind of thinks about spring break. So that end of January is your 30-day program that kicks off. And then that leads in so if this was amazing, let's go into this group. for those of you one-on-one, you could even have a group, and then your goal is to lead people into your one-on-one to be able to personalize that. I have a lot of coaches who they'll use our membership as what I call the soup. The soup is where everyone is. It's this lower cost option. And the soup model is something I realized like many years ago, because before we had like this membership term and all of that, we all had lower cost options. And those lower cost options were a great place, similar to this word tripwire. It's a great place for somebody to get this taste of you beyond the free, but then want to, of course, graduate to a higher touch with you because either they have seen you consistently show up, and so they know you're the right person to take them on that higher touch, higher finance journey. And, or, maybe that person was hesitant to work with you one-on-one because they've had some past experiences, but in that soup model, like a group where it's not requiring somebody to put out, a huge amount of money, no matter whether your months are like $333 a month or $1,500 or $2,000. We work with coaches. We work with people in the health and wellness industry who have all different financial tiers. So if that person has their objection, like, hey, I don't know if we're right. If you're not right, that's one thing. But most often it's, I don't feel that working with you equates this transformation of X amount of money. Like, and you have to play that out on the psychology of that person. Like, have they not tasted enough of that transformation? Do they not believe enough that you are that right person? And have they not have enough experiences to say, oh, wow, this person consistently shows up. And when we consistently show up with value, and not just like teaching, but value that addresses the exact problem that is happening in your ideal client's life right now. And that's where I need you guys to go beyond just, I don't know my niche, or I thought I knew my ideal client. That's at the beginning. You guys did that in school. And now it's actually time to say, I do know this person. I have done my research. And now I'm going to step into the shoes of really that soulful marketer, that soulful entrepreneur, that wellness-minded entrepreneur, where you say, okay, I know my ideal client, but what is she or he dealing with today, this month in their life? How is their life being impacted by media, TV, all that ideal client avatar work? Like, what magazines does your person, read? What TV shows? Who do they admire? That's where it's really key to sit there and say, how am I going to position myself, which I know I'm already the expert, but really speak to my ideal client. So I separate myself from the rest of the pack. So that's one you will see right here. Social media package is off the chart, guys. I sat there and I was like, you know what? You guys are all asking about ads. So I went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. No joke. Seriously, not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I was like, team, we are jamming on giving templates. If you notice, this is the exact kind of template that I use for my Facebook ads. We gave this to you so that you could buy a program from us, either hire somebody who's your virtual assistant or your social media person to put this into play, so you don't waste a lot of time being like, hey, I want it to look like this, or I need the social media like this. I actually created the social media myself. I wanted to make sure that they looked stunning and also like really caught the attention of people. And I know that in a world where we are visual and in a very quick world, which we are on no matter what platform, people stop because they see the visual and then they read next. And so we put this like 6 social media package together. For those of you who don't have templates, Canva, or that want the pro version, we just did them like this. IG ads. I mean, come on, people. It is just insane. It's ready, they're done. And I also thought about IG stories because, one, a lot of us use it, whether it's IG or it's Facebook or it's Pinterest. I mean, the cool thing and the amazing thing about Canva is that once you have a template, like, you're golden. I'm actually going to show you my Canva so you can see just the level of awesomeness that's going into these programs and what we're doing. The second is this blood sugar mastery. I mean, this is sick. You have these teaching PowerPoints that actually go with this, because this program, the intention was to be different than any of this other blood sugar. We have blood sugar repair. There's a lot of amazing information. With so many people who use it, who specialize in all different niches. We have a lot of people who use that program and also are keto, and they work with people with either diabetes or, and of course they're able to, work with somebody and work in that area, meaning they have the correct certifications and they're able to do lab testing and work with a doctor, or they're working with a doctor. This was for that person who I would say is like myself and many of the people that I worked with, is that it's that carb tolerance. And that carb tolerance, from me being in a person who has had adrenal fatigue probably my whole life, that blood sugar is a fine line. And so this really goes against all of this like dogmatic, like you have to do this, you have to eat this way. Oh no, you've got to be fruitarian. Oh no, you've got to be, keto. And this is getting back to this, like, we're going to find your carb tolerance. That's even different. We have a low carb 7-day program. Like, it's really cute. It's in Canva actually, but this is different. This is actually you teaching your clients how to find this, like how to actually navigate this. So check this out. This is sick. So the way that I even envision this is, one, I would do pre-recorded videos for all of this. I feel that in teaching, and that's why I think this is not only applicable to introverts who sometimes have a tougher time doing like a video like this, where you're actually looking at somebody. You can be totally confident doing a workshop or even a presentation, pre-record it. Don't stress yourself. Don't stress your adrenals. I know I have to be really careful right now with my adrenals, and I don't think I'm any different than anyone else. Especially for those mamas and papas out there, or grandparents, not that I'm saying life is different when you don't have kids, but I would say there's just another level of adrenal, whatever, that we've all been challenged with. So I would just make it super easy on yourself. I even like to make it super easy and do pre-recorded videos, because I feel that people process better in that way. Of course, if you're doing this where you were doing it in a membership, maybe you would want to do it pre-recorded, but actually to do a live Q&A on this. This could even be in your one-on-one. These can be like your trainings that you actually help your client. I know my clients love stuff like this. And guess what, guys? Every PowerPoint can be saved as a PDF. So if you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to do this as a wrap, you can do on this last, say, hey, please make sure you're filling out your journal for your food for your carb tolerance, so that we can really document it. There's, so much. You have the script in there. You have all these different ones, because this program has a phase 1 and a phase 2. So we have one on like sleep. We have one how to find your UCT. I mean, I also feel like for those of you who bought our PCOS program, like, this is just crazy, like crazy compliment, meaning you can take this program. We have this vegan also. I know, we listened, we heard, we took action. And you can see here everything taking your client through each one of these steps. This was a tough one, like when we've done any of our keto. It requires, and AIP, those recipes and that recipe planning require a lot of work, because similar to AIP, which need a lot of kind of perfect planning of the meals, and keto, of course. This required, of course, on the carb reintroduction, you're going to see the suggested meals. It required a lot of fine tuning and making sure that we were accurately guiding your client through this process. So this had me a little stressed. It's had me a little stressed. Thank God for my writers who specialize in this area, because I was a little nervous, because if we mess up, then your clients are not going to get the results that they need. And I know with as much autoimmune stuff, leaky gut, misdiagnosis, Lyme, stress. I mean, anything that impacts us, age, hormones, I feel like this was the game changer in my business. I can't tell you how many people I changed, like completely changed their life, because when I struggled, I always say, take your pain and turn it into product. When I struggled with blood sugar imbalances, which was significant, and it started in my life when I was 14, I then went to like St. Christopher's Hospital in Philly, saw a hematologist. This had been one of the problems constantly that was, constantly affecting my health, more of mine, like a trigger of autoimmune and a bunch of other issues, but I would say that a lot of the people who came to me with a lot of skin rashes, edema, swelling, similar to myself, fatigue, exhaustion, you name it, blood sugar was a huge component. And of course, like the adrenals is a huge component, and the endocrine system. But I really found that this was a game changer, and also how I set myself apart when I did work with people with gut and weight. I approached it different because of even my own experiences and just the ongoing blood sugar issues that I had, even when I was pregnant with my daughter. So this, having something like this back in the day would have been a game changer for me. We also, we also have a 30-day gut fix program. I know. Guys, I just sat there and I was like, if I could go back in time, what would it be? What would it be? And it was to have a longer gut program. I've always talked to you about what I know set me apart from other coaches, is while everyone was like, detox, I drilled down on what worked for me and what I felt and what I believed deep in my heart. This is where your method is created, deep in my heart. The biggest problem that not only I saw for myself, but for people who had like food allergies and leaky gut and histamine reactions and all the things that I had experienced, and all the things that I'd experienced with my children, with allergy testing from like a very young age. And, people coming to me and saying, I don't understand, like I'm not allergic. I don't have a sensitivity, but like when I eat this, it doesn't come up on my test, but when I eat this, I bloat up, or I feel sick, or I feel nauseous. And I started to hone in and drill down and niche down into speaking a lot about these food intolerances that led to a myriad of different health issues. And I separated myself because it wasn't just a detox. That hit me, I want to say my first year in coaching, when Kim Schneider, Paul Pitchford, Josh Axe, Alejandro Younger, like there were so many people that influenced me. And I loved them, but it was, and Liz Lipsky, it was Liz Lipsky's teaching of understanding the elimination diet, compounded with me sitting there and being like, well, I love all these other programs, but I have these major like intolerances. And I've even done testing to a lot of these like superfoods, like quinoa. It's a perfect example. And then it hit me. I was like, wow, if I could have the greatest Paul Pitchford, who was the game changer for me at 25 when I was really, really sick and I started to eat seasonally. John Douillard, who just blew me away with just his understanding of Ayurvedic, which I'm not that well adversed in, but the way that he explained seasonal eating just really like touched my heart. And Louise Gittleman, Kim Schneider, what if I could put Alejandra Younger, all these people into like one program that I felt could help my ideal client to see that like one man's food is another man's poison. And that, you know, we don't always know with testing when it comes to allergies and sensitivities, there can be a false positive, a false negative. And so like, what if I really taught my client how to like listen to their body and eat with the season so they're in the most homeostasis? That was the birth of me creating my first program. And I wouldn't say it's the exact program because I've created that in like 2011 or 12. But it is how we craft these programs to this day, like really thinking, wow, if I was sitting here teaching this, how would I teach this? How would I also separate myself from everyone else who's like, oh my God, gut, and talk about like all the aspects and the nuances gut for my ideal client and for how I really see the things that are taught in the world that maybe are getting missed, or, you know, all the things that we wish would have been there. And knowing that I wish that would have been told to me, that's really actually the solution for my client. So this one, so excited because that 14-day detox, I had that as my like baseline and a self-paced program in a group. But I needed that 30-day program that was very gut specific. I had a longer one, but sometimes people just needed that like reset, or they needed to transition. They needed to start with something like this if there wasn't like tons of issues and they didn't need to be on an allergy elimination, or if their allergies were so significant that I actually needed to kind of go into something like this and go into like the 4 pillars. So you will see, I mean, this is just amazing. Plus the PowerPoints, we just have this is really, like I said, blowing me away. I mean, even just that, guys, in the pre-marketing of this, if I was launching this in January, I would make December's focus all about like healing the gut, healing the heart, healing the soul from like the stress, like moving forward, setting the stage for a new you, which is the other program that I remember writing, because I thought, you know, wow, like we can really create a new you all the time. And so you could even have this program and create social media for each week. Like, what is the topic this week, so that you're warming people up to this program that you are going to launch in January. And for those of you even doing a membership, some of you do founders bonuses, whether you're with, you know, Stu McLaren or membership guys that you've been taught founders bonuses or programs that your members have to actually complete. So they come into the whole transformation. You could also do something like that. You could have this program to be your founders member entry program. You could make it an incentive where, let's say you do a webinar like first week of December or like maybe even second week, get people to enroll before New Year's, and they get access to this program or anything else, and they get access to extra calls with you. And that's also how you really solidify like a great open cart for a membership. And also people are like, oh my God, Hence, the second option is that you actually have this program and you pre-record, like I discussed with the other program, everything, so that you can say, da, na, 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 na. When you buy this, you will get instant access to this program that you can do right away with step-by-step recorded calls. Come on, guys. That's when it gets fun, when we sit there and we actually like marinate in how amazing it would be for our clients, what they need, and also what really would solidify somebody converting. We also, God, I feel like we have been busy. We also have put together a content recipe bundle. This is different from our content in a box, where we do have recipes. But a lot of you guys had asked, oops, that's my team member. A lot of you guys had asked, I'm just going to show you an example. If we have like Instagram templates, a lot of questions about like, oh my God, I love when people style their posts with like a recipe, and I want to put it in my IG stories, or I want to put it in my Pinterest. I know, I get it. Because instructing a virtual assistant or a social media person to do that, I will tell you, that is usually very hard. And I think it's one of the reasons that a lot of coaches, we actually don't launch our business, because it takes so much time trying to explain to somebody who may not be a coach, like what you want. So here you have suggested meals, you have a recipe guide, you have the covers, you have everything that you would want if you wanted to give your client, or if you wanted to use this in a membership in your business. You have IG size cards. I mean, I cannot even look at these. These are adorable. The thing about this is, because you have the Canva template, you can say link in bio for IG. You could also even change this and just say, join the community, join the community and get recipes each month. I mean, there's so much that you can do when you have images that are already done. Look how adorable. So we say IG, but truthfully, guys, it's really any different social media. Plus, I would say, and you guys hear me talk about this a lot. You guys hear me talk about, and we're not going to do 2 blogs right there, but I need to go back. You guys hear me talk a lot about Pinterest, and kind of how important it is to have really cool images like this on Pinterest. What's so great is, in a second, you could have this pin size like on a blog, and that blog could be shared directly to Pinterest. There's so many things that you can do when you have images set for like your blog. You have images set for your social media. You know that you just have access to that stuff like in a second, so that you don't have to sit there. Trust me. I can tell you from experience that you don't have to sit there and then try to explain for an hour, 2 hours. That's your time equity. So if you're like me and you're starting your business, you've got little kids, you only have 90 minutes a day, I'm not going to talk to you about strategies that maybe coaches are telling you that are ideal for a person that has a little more time. I'm going to tell you what it was like when I built my business, and I knew that if I had those images on a blog, if I got over my fear, even if I did it pre-recorded and did the benefits of these recipes in a video, I wouldn't have to worry as much about copy, and that one blog can be shared on LinkedIn, shared to Pinterest. That also could be images that are just even on your social media, so that if you theme it like video on one day, recipe feature on another day, benefits, behind the scenes testimonial, and then reasons why you have X issue, that's 7 days of social media. And truthfully, every one of our, whether it be workshops or programs, if you open up one guide and you're like, reasons you have leaky gut, that's one post. even that screenshot is one post, and then you can put in a recipe, like second post, great recipe for gut health. And then the third post is a video talking about, leaky gut and what you do, and maybe a behind the scenes of your favorite probiotic, or, showing the behind the scenes of your life so that you build that trust with your ideal client, and that you actually get somebody to reach out to you. Or that when you are starting your business fresh and nobody knows you, and you have 2 likes on your Facebook business page and you are one of them, that you start to develop this content that is going to spark the attention of your ideal client, because that they love recipes. You're going to niche, that talk, of course, to be, specific to the problems that you solve. So it is a no-brainer. Anyway, all right, guys, I think I have talked for way too long today. Somebody's saying, I'm looking forward to get the new workshops. And somebody is also saying, is this new workshops? Yeah, we actually have one on metabolism. We have one on liver, like loving your liver. Why am I toxic? A lot of ones. Let me just show you this quick before we leave, because it really is so freaking cool. Where are they? Okay. So right here, same thing. Here you have this PowerPoint and this script. I mean, look at this. When I say, how do you make your social media? There's so much content here. And that's why I always say, take time to plan it. And if you're like me, where you get overwhelmed planning at a desk, move it to a whiteboard. But these are all talking topics. And I think as coaches, especially for those of us who have a tough time expressing, that actual benefit and the transformation, it can be really advantageous to have PowerPoints and to have actually content that we're reading from, so that we get used to speaking, and that we actually train ourselves to be extremely confident no matter what we do. Because it's like, okay, guys, in today's topic, we're going to talk about removing toxins. You could literally copy and paste that and turn it into, put a little few emojis and turn it into a social media post. Somebody that isn't you giving away the shopping center for free. Somebody is coming and they want to continue to follow you because of how you share how to remove toxins from your life, or how to boost your energy. Like it's how you actually share it that makes somebody say, oh, wow, this person, like I need to hire this person. And I even thought about your promotion, because I always did a Facebook event. I always would swap this out in my group. So we did that exactly. We created Canva templates for you, the JPEGs, the PNGs, so that you could click, go, and have that right there to market and not have to think twice as you also go into your holiday time and not wanting to feel exhausted. So guys, you can tell I'm super excited. If you have any questions, please let us know. We open cart on the 19th of November, and I'm going to be doing a live training that is talking about pricing, what to launch, when to launch, giving some ideas of that people have already done with our programs, and also some ideas for you guys, whether you're one-on-one or a group or a membership, so that you can start to marinate now and then get yourself into action, that first week of December, and start really dripping out what you need to get dripped out to create that story, the why, the solutions to the problems for your ideal clients, and get their attention. Guys, it's been wonderful to be with you guys today. If you have any questions, you can drop them below, head on to our free group, anything. And I hope you're having a good one. I will see you guys later. Make sure you sign up. That freebie is also the bomb upsell.com. I use that for Rachel's wellness. So don't let that opportunity pass you by before we take that baby away. So make sure you grab that freebie. Sign up for the webinar. If you have any questions about what to launch, we will address them, pricing, fun stuff like that. And I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.